Hey everyone, we are back with episode 2 of the Hairapy sessions. Today we're going to talk about the services that we are mastered in. So I guess you can say our specialties. Yvonne's going to take it away. She's going to start with her specialty. Very exciting.
Hi everyone. As you guys know, my name is Yvonne Plasencia. I'm a hairdresser, and we're building these episodes for you guys, and we wanted to make sure that you guys understand what we do. And we came out with the idea of our master of our specialties. Mine, my selection of a specialty, since I graduated from beauty school, I always knew that I wanted to do hair extensions. So, with that being said, I'd like to touch bases into hair extensions, the type of hair extensions that are trending now, as well as the type of hair extensions that are um, correct for each and individual client. I want to be talking, otra vez, no. O sea,
We can just crop it and
okay.
continue.
Okay. I'm going to be talking about hair types, color, if they're allowed to be color, how you guys can style that once you take it from the salon to your house, to your place, and the maintenance. With human hair extensions, they are different types. There's Remy hair extensions, there is human hair extensions, there is synthetic hair extensions. So when a client comes to my share and asks all the questions about hair extensions, if you're new to hair extensions, I had always tried to give them a feel of what a hair extension is gonna feel like, look like, and obviously I'm gonna look at the scalp or at the. Es que es más difícil por mí esto en inglés.
Si quieres en español or Spanglish is fine.
Spanglish.
Spanglish is fine.
Ok, otra vez voy a empezar.
Okay.
Hablando del tema de hoy, mi especialidad, elegimos como tema de hoy nuestras especialidades. Mi especialidad es extensiones. Es un tema que entró a mi corazón desde que me gradué de la escuela y supe que quería hacer extensiones. Siento que extensiones trae una diversa nueva manera de expresión para la mujer que no tiene, quizás tiene poca densidad, cantidad de pelo. Para la mujer que también tiene pelo, pero que no se quiere procesar mucho el pelo o quiere traer un pop de color hacia el pelo. Y las extensiones es algo que trae vida, que trae fashion, que trae elegancia a la mujer, de alguna manera, estéticamente hablando, la eleva. La eleva. Todo lo que tenga que ver con el pelo te eleva, pero un buen tipo de pelo definitivamente te da clase y te eleva, te da sobre todo confianza en ellas mismas. A mí me gusta que mi clienta salga de mi silla sintiéndose con confianza. I'm going to try to translate that. Since I graduated from beauty school, I knew that I wanted to that I had passion over hair extensions. And I knew that I wanted to master on that. I like to say that that's where I have my mastery now. I feel like hair extensions bring a lot to the table and to the clients that comes to my share. It provides confidence. It allows them to have fuller hair. For the clients that don't have a lot of density, if it's applied properly applied, it's gonna go ahead and give them that dimension that they need, that playfulness that they want. That then again, that make them feel confident as they walk out. It's something that I feel that it can be worked in different ways. It's gonna, for the client that doesn't want to process the hair, but they want to add a pop of color, this is going to be great for them, as we don't have to chemically treat all the hair, but we can go ahead and do partials over the crown or in the areas where the extensions are not going to be placed. So it's actually saving, protecting the hair in many ways, because we're not going to process the majority of the hair. We're just going to do a nice blend with it. Um, with that being said, there's obviously many different type of extensions. There is human hair, there is synthetic hair, which we want to stay away from that, and there is Remy hair. We in the industry of hair extensions, Remy hair will be considered the gold expensive, the best hair. So the majority of the times when I work with my clients, I like to stick with the best quality. Bless you, bless you, bless you. With that being, that's okay. With that being said, Remy hair will be the type of hair that I'm gonna always recommend to the clients.
Mm-hmm.
There is times that you as clients will come to us as extensions professional, and at least in my experience with that, if you come to me and if you said that you had already invested in hair that it's not Remy quality, let's say it has a combo of synthetic and then a combo of natural hair, I'm gonna go ahead and use that for you as that's what you're requesting, but I will not guarantee that the expectation or the feel of the hair, the experience of the overall hair extensions on your hair is gonna go as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, with hair extensions, hair quality, hair color, the feel of it, it's everything for them to have a great experience with hair extensions. How I apply hair extensions, there's now different, very, very different names, titles, as far as how as the application goes, but in the end if we go back to the old names, they all fall in the same fusions, let's call it like that. um in my expertise, and I took notes for that. um Let me actually go back to the type of hair, because I just realized that I didn't touch bases on this when I spoke about quality of hair extensions and why Remy will be considered the best hair extension. It's because sometimes a Remy quality type of hair will be a hair that the cuticle of the hair is close. And when we're talking about the cuticle of the hair, Erika, we're meaning of whatever is the outside layer of the hair. Mm-hmm. And that cuticle is not pressed up, down, but it's laying flat on one way.
Super important.
So that's super important when we're talking about hair, or when we process the hair and the cuticle is open. A lot of the times we talk about the cuticle porosity, all of that.
Yeah.
That has to do. It's a process that has to do with the quality of hair extension as well. So with Remy hair extensions, the cuticle will always be sealed. The cuticle will always be facing laying one way, and that's gonna allow your hair to always stay as natural hair. If you have a nice natural hair, how that feels is soft, it's nice, smooth. It's smooth, it's easy to work with, it's manageable, and that's what we want when if you're gonna go ahead and invest in hair extensions, which we're gonna talk about price ranges. That's gonna depend on the method, but I'm gonna say to you that's not gonna be less than 300 to 800 to 1,000, and that's gonna vary upon the area where you go and quote for that. In the Bonita area where we are located, I like to say that that's the price range. So if we're talking about investing on just applying the methods of extensions, the right method of extensions into your hair, then you're saying that just by applying this, the minimum that you're gonna spend, depending on the amount and the work that is required, it's gonna be 300. On top of that, obviously, the material, which is the hair that you're gonna take, and hopefully you're gonna keep reusing for the next 6 months to a year. the material is going to be all out of your pocket. Because as me as a a hair extension specialist, I only work I charge for the work I put into you. So you're talking about of a price range of $1,000 with a good quality hair. And now I always said to the clients, good quality hair is worth it if you're really committed to the hair extensions. And I like to say that around 90, if not 95% of clients that comes from for hair extensions, once they try it, they will fall in love with them. I've been doing hair extensions about 15 years now, and people, once they get into it, they stick to them almost forever. And or sometimes they take a break, but that's up after 5-6 years of uses. So if you're going to invest on it, based on my experience, as I know that you are going to be committed to it, that you're going to have a good experience, that you're going to like it, invest on good quality. Because whether you do cheap quality of hair or good quality of hair, there's not a lot of price difference depending if you know where to shop. And you're just gonna you're gonna have a whole different experience with that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So un poquito en español. La inversión, lo voy a resumir, la inversión de extensiones, la aplicación puede variar dependiendo el estilo de aplicación que vamos a usar para ponerlo. El precio puede variar desde $300 hasta $800,000. En la zona donde nosotros estamos, que es en Bonita, bienvenidos a la ciudad de Bonita, hermoso Bonita. Los precios están más o menos en ese rango, $265 a $800. Ahora lo que estoy queriendo decir con esto es que la mayoría de las personas que vienen o son nuevas y quieren intentar extensiones, siempre que lo intentan les gustan, se quedan con ellas. Obviamente esto viene con una buena consulta con su especialista de extensiones. Tienen una buena experiencia, entonces es importante que si van a invertir, digamos, en un término de inversión entre pelo y pagar a su estilista, en este caso yo, para aplicar sus extensiones, su inversión va a ser más o menos de un costo de $1,000, hablando en números reales. Y es algo que es importante hacerlo correctamente, porque aunque compren pelo barato, dependiendo de dónde vayan a comprar, o pelo caro, son cantidades de más de $200. Entonces, si hay una diferencia entre $300, vale la pena que ese pelo que va a costar $300, $400, quizás más, te va a durar 1 año a 1 año y medio de uso, que el pelo que vas a comprar por esa cantidad menos, y te va a durar literalmente menos de 2 meses. Entonces hay que tener conciencia sobre eso, porque ahí es donde les roban el dinero y obviamente la experiencia es completamente diferente. Now, after the translation, I like to talk about quality of hair and how important it is. I like to say that you should always, if you're going to invest in this type of service that I provide or that somebody else can provide for you, you have to be mindful, and for you to go into your extension professional specialist and have them do the work to get the hair for you. Why? Because we know the quality, we know all the specifics about the hair, like I mentioned, the fact that the cuticles close, the fact that some of them are silicone-based products, like synthetic hair or human hair might have a coating of silicone that's going to allow you to feel the hair as if it's really soft, very like as if it's natural hair. But what happened with the silicone-based coating on those hair extensions is that it only lasted up to 2 to 3 washes. So immediately your hair is gonna get rough. Why? Because the cuticle is gonna be right open. And it's gonna be very difficult to detangle, very difficult to, when you blow dry it as you're trying to brush it, it's just gonna be a hell of experience, to be honest. So that's why I highly recommend that whenever you decide to go for this service, do the right investment on it, and have your hair specialist, your extension specialist pick and explain why they're gonna pick this hair type for you. We know what we're talking about. We know about hair type, where the hair is proceeding. We know name brands, and we know we have obviously a lot more knowledge that whatever you think it is, it's a little bit more difficult than that. And that's why we're here for. That's why I'm here for you. With that being said, I like to talk about the different methods of applications. When you come to me as a first time, and you're gonna try applications, there's clips in to give you the first experience. So a lot of the clients even ask, before being a hairdresser, or when I first got into this industry, I experienced extensions myself with clip-ons. Then I had a feel of what that will feel like. Obviously, is way bulky,
Yeah.
and that's why I like to always, depending on the client and the hair shape and how the hair, your natural hair, grows and it's falling, I'm gonna do the best recommendation for you. But with that being said, the most trendy one right now are the sew-ins, or hand-tied extensions. With those, and I brought a little bit of tools. I brought a little bit of colors, shades, so that you can get more excited. But with those, we usually create a base on your own hair. And we typically, for me to add that sewing extensions for you, hand tied extensions, anything that has to do with sewing, ¿cómo se dice? Hilo?
The thread.
The thread and la aguja?
The needle.
The needle, between the thread and the needle. I'm sorry, sometimes I go back and forward, and I said this from the beginning. Whenever I do the application with any of those tools, we're gonna use about 10% of your hair for me to apply those extensions to you. So it's very minimum. About 10% of your base will be sealed, will be utilized for me to create a base. And so go ahead and add strands of extensions like this ones, or sew them in.
So like an anchor. You
anchor
it with
them.
your own
Yeah,
hair.
exactly, with your own hair. A lot of people will do braiding. That's no longer in style though, because that will get loosened a lot faster, I feel, with my experience. My first experience with sewing extensions, that's how they used to teach us to use that method. But now what we do is that we do a solid base with the beads, and then, but the good thing, and where I want to go with this specific method of application, is that typically it's only used at 10% of your hair for us to be able to apply a nice, clean, full head of extensions, which is amazing. It's glue free. I like to stay off of glue,
yeah,
because it's easier to take them off, and it's not as damaging as pulling,
invasive.
like invasive to the experience, to the hair. Overall, and I think that we both agree in that, as hairdressers, our main goal is to maintain your hair. I know we're talking about application of extensions, but to maintain your hair in the best aspect, as healthy as possible. And even though I work with hair extensions, I'm very aware that I want to maintain your base. Yeah. And I have clients that are following now, and I know that they can go ahead and comment. I always, if it's necessary, I always put the clients on vitamins, or anything that is going to maintain their hair, the base, where we're going to hold into the extensions.
The right products.
Healthy, strong. And so that's very important. But that to me right now is the most trendy hair extensions. And as we go along, I mean, there's tape extensions. Those includes glue in. And I actually brought a little bit of the tapes. So it has glue in the back and in the front of it, and it goes as sandwich, but it's a little bit more invasive as I remove them. This was a very trendy application for a while, but now that sewing came in back in our extension industry, these ones are the ones that I recommend the most. There is fusion ones, I-tip ones. Those are individuals. Both of them are very individual strands of hair, and they're applied to a very small strand of hair of your hair. It can be applied with the beads, silicone beads as well, or the fusion keratin.
The K-tips?
Fusions now, like I said, it goes in different names now, but the K-tips or fusions are the same ones.
Oh, okay.
And so those, what I like to add, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and close. We can come back to a lot more if you have questions, so that Erica can take her place and talk about. I think we're gonna talk. I'll leave it to her to introduce that part. But I'm gonna close with the fusion K-tips or the beaded extensions. With those, what you get, those are more pricey because it takes a lot more work for me to apply it into your hair. They go by little strands of hair that are gonna mimic the same to your hair, and they're gonna be added to it. Obviously, it's a super clean. Everything that I do as a hair specialist has to be sectioned, has to be clean, and it's, like I said, it's designed to be taken care and applied correctly. With that being said, with this ones, I go ahead and apply those in individual strands of hair, and those have a lot more movement. And that's the difference between the sewing extensions that they go in bigger panels. Than, as I'm using this as an example. This is not what they look like, but this is a strand of hair extensions that when you apply individual strands, they just feel and they have a lot more movement. So that's gonna then again all gonna fall into consultation when you guys come to me or come to your whoever's doing that up for you. And it's just by having the right consultation. What is it that you're looking for? Do you like fullness? Do you enjoy movement? How will you feel with the bigger panel? Do you want to be glue free? And goes on and on. But yeah, that's my expertise.
What about like at home? Like, who is a good candidate for these?
At home,
like at home
anyone is a good candidate for this. Anyone. And like I said, it can be just like, I want to add a pop-up extension, like my daughter, like, mommy, I just want to do a pink. If you guys have children, they can go ahead and ask that and be like, you know what, I don't want you to have your hair chemically treated yet, but let's do a pop-up extensions. And that's when you come to me in this case. But at home, maintenance at home, is that what we are referring to?
Yeah.
At home, it's actually very low maintenance. A good hair type of extensions, it's gonna give you a good aftercare, easy aftercare at home. What's most important, I like to say, is that you have to make sure when you're washing, you're detangling the hair. So I always explain to my clients, section the hair and make sure you are getting you're coming through. Wider tube brush, the better, because it's going to be able to penetrate and gentle detangle. Obviously, the product goes along the way. A good detangler pomade, it's gonna work well. And then also, if you're gonna put a ponytail, kind of like make sure it's not soaking wet. Kind of like you want to make sure that it's dry over there, depending on the layers or sections of extensions that you have. But detangling is number one. It's easy. You get a wider contour and you use that. You can air dryer or use your nice blow dryer. Make sure it's not soaking wet, and then it's gonna work the same as your hair. So you're gonna use the nice product to detangle the hair. If you want to blow it, and if you, the only thing about hair extensions that honestly they feel way nicer unless you're gifted and your hair is like super beautiful. But hair extensions overall, if it's a good quality, like I mentioned before, it's such a nice experience. So
Yeah.
it's super easy to maintain, and if it's applied correctly, I like to say that even though I don't have hair extensions right now, but if it's applied correctly, you don't even feel them unless you put your fingers through. That's when
Yeah.
you know it was applied the right way. That's when you know that that you went to a professionist on the topic, because you're not supposed to feel them. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like your hair only when you actually or somebody touches them. You're like aware that they're actually there. Other than that, the experience should be great. The maintenance should be low. Like we always said at the salon, sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner or
Yeah.
products. The cleaner the ingredient, the better. And we're gonna touch bases on the our audience that mentioned that. We're gonna touch bases about the ingredients and
Mm-hmm.
all of that and how it can affect. But same goes with hair extensions. So it goes hand to hand. It's not difficult. It's super easy. I highly recommend that. And yeah, any questions, you guys? We're here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I guess it's my turn.
Yes.
So my specialty is curly hair as a whole. So it would be anywhere, if you guys are familiar with the curl chart, so from the twos all the way to the fours. More of the 4B, C, I recommend someone who's more specialized in the ethnic hair. I mean, I do tackle some of that. I have a few clients who do come in with the 4A, B, and C, and we do
What's a four
shaping.
A, B, and C?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through the chart.
Okay.
So numbers one, because it's one ABC, two ABC, three ABC, four ABC. So one is going to be straighter hair. I call it like one dimensional hair. And then the twos is going to be like wavy. One's is straight hair pretty much. Twos is the wavy. Three is like the curly that you see, kind of like that Shirley Temple curl. And then the fours is more of that afro texture, kinky, coily hair that is the tighter curls. So my main specialty is more from the twos to the maybe 4A, and then B and C. I recommend that they go to someone that's particularly
What's
special.
B and C again?
Coily, kinky.
Kinky. Okay.
Yeah, so 4B and C is like that kinky, coily hair. I mean, I do have some that come in, but if they want something a little bit more specific, then I'll have them go to someone else. But my specialty is more of embracing your curl. So that client that doesn't really know they have curly hair or doesn't know what to do with their curly hair, so I guide them. I hold their hand and kind of treat them as if they don't know, which is essentially like my specialty curly services. They come in, they tell me what they're experiencing, which is usually not knowing what product to use or not knowing how to apply the product, not knowing if their cut is the right cut. So that's where I come in and I explain to them, okay, let's talk about, like, do you want volume? What is your priority? Definition, volume, what is it that you're seeking? And then we'll go through the consultation, all that part, and then I'll show them how. So I'm going to kind of break down like what I go through in each service. Sorry, I think it was it went away. My sneeze went away.
Cut it in. Yeah.
I cut it. Okay, so yeah, we'll just crop that part.
Yeah, otra vez.
But anyways, so with curly hair, the most important part, and I have a little equation that I created. So moisture plus hydration equals definition. Without the two, you cannot have definition. I tell my clients that's super important. And that comes from product. It comes from starting with the shampoo and conditioner, something hydrating. If you have finer hair, something lightweight but still hydrating. And these are some of the essentials that I use, and we'll get into styling in just a second. But everything that you use contributes to the result. So everything from shampoo, conditioner, your routine in the shower, styling, prepping, all of that stuff. What brush are you using? Are you sectioning when you style? Super important. So I'm going to walk you through a service with me so that you understand what is it that I do specifically. Because curly hair sounds so vague. It sounds so general. We need to get into specifics. So step one, consultation. which I did already touch on. What is it that you're looking for? So my specialty is I give them volume, I give them definition, and I give them a good cut that's suited for their hair type. So usually most curly people are prioritizing length. So we do a specialized cut, typically a rounder shape because that is most flattering on curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
So a round shape with layers. I typically always do layers because that removes the weight. A lot of people experience this Christmas tree effect with their curls.
Yeah.
So they're flat up here and then they're puffy here. They say, oh, it's puffy, it's frizzy, it's crazy. But that's because the weight is all right here. It's all one length, it's all grown out. So by bringing layers, you're distributing the weight, you're distributing the curls throughout. So it lays exactly how they want them, how that curls need to lay. And I typically rarely ever texturize. You're not supposed to use texturizing shears ever on curly
feel,
hair.
Erika, that once, because I have curly hair, it might be different, but
Yeah.
it's a type of curly hair. Still counted.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel that once you do the layer cuts on curly hair, it just creates like this elevation instead of all like you're talking about the tree effect, right? When it's like one level, it's just gonna do this freeze, this like heaviness right here. But when you cut it on layers, it's gonna allow all those curls to become alive again.
Oh, 100%. Right? All that heavy, it's a heavy weight that I was talking
the
about.
The haircut, it's so important, and that's why
important.
It's so good to go to someone that knows
how to cut curly hair.
Yes.
And perfect that we lead into that. So the first step is the consultation. Then the next step is the dry cut. So I cut on dry hair because every snip you make, it reflects what the curl is doing. So I like my clients to come in with dry, try not to put too much product, but how they would normally wear their hair, so I can see their texture and see everything, not in a bun, not in a ponytail, because then that creates the creases. So we go and we shape everything. And then after that, we move on to the wash. I always do a hair mask. Super important. That's what I was telling you, that equation. Moisture plus hydration equals definition. So hydrating shampoo, hydrating conditioner, and then a hair mask. And then from there...
Hydrating shampoo.
Yes.
Hydrating conditioning.
Yes.
And a hair mask.
Yes, 100%. Okay. And the brands depend on what your hair type is. So the finer the hair, you're going to find a brand that's lighter weight. It's meant for lightweight. So you'd stay away from like the heavier products. Exactly. And then the more tighter the curl, the more coarser your hair is, the more heavy product you're going to need to supplement. So the curly hair always runs dry, no matter what. It's always going to be dry. Yeah. You have to really give it that extra love. So after we do the shampoo, conditioner, hair mask, then we move on to what I call the wet cut. And that's just checking for any crazy pieces that are flying out. So I check for the length, make sure everything's nice and even. And then from there we style. So that's, I think, the number one most important part. Yes, that's the most important part as far as the client. So the client typically doesn't really know how to style. So that's where these guys come in. And I have the curly brush. I love this brush. I started using it religiously. I use it on myself. I use it on my clients. And for products, I use a curl cream and a curl gel. And it's super important to use some sort of curl cream because that's going to be giving it moisture. If you just use a mousse or just use a gel, it doesn't have a moisturizing factor. Think of it like putting lotion on your body. It's the same thing. That creamy consistency is what also aids in definition. And so I use this for hydration. And then my curly gel, which is really, really lightweight. It is very sleek. It's more runny. It's more of like a serum-y type gel, which helps with frizz. Really does help with frizz. And it gives it that shine, that sleekness that you need at the end. So these working in combination, I love them together. And all of my clients, I put them onto these two products and they love them as well. So all of
your curly clients, they leave super happy, honestly. They all leave like glowing.
Oh yeah, she sees all my clients.
Which is so satisfying, honestly.
That's the most satisfying for me too.
She's really good with curls. Yeah.
So with the styling, I section off the hair. You need to go section by section because you skip parts and then you have like these frizzy pockets. So it's like one side sticking out here and then it's like looking weird. And so section by section is really important. And usually I go 2 finger width sections. And then with the brush, So you apply your product first. I mix them together. Depending on how curly your hair is, how coarse it is, you add more. So I usually recommend like a quarter size, just in general, like to mix them together. So a quarter size.
Cocktail both of them.
Yeah, cocktail both of them. You mix them together.
Okay.
You don't apply them separate. I think it's easier, and they work in unison. So
Yes.
really nice to mix them
Perfect.
together. And then with this brush, which is I think the latest and greatest, this is the trending tool.
Now.
Yes. So it comes with a sectioning side to make your sections. You clip up the rest so it's out of the way. And so with this brush, it's really neat because it uses tension. So these divots, it uses tension to spring back the curl. And so I'll tell my clients, do you know like a slinky toy?
Mm-hmm.
So you know when you pull the slinky and you let it
goes
go, it
right
shrinks back up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that kind of technology.
Effect.
Yeah, the tension. So you take it and you go like this, and so the curl will bounce.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally called curl bounce brush because it gives you that extra bounce and extra curl. I have a 50-50% of clients who air dry versus diffuse. Some people think that is damaging to diffuse. It all depends on how often you're doing it and how high the heat. And these have a heat protectant quality in them, especially the Enjoy. All their products are pH balanced, which I love. It keeps the cuticle closed, keeps the the color locked in. So if you get color services, it helps with that. But that's kind of like the basics. We could go on and on and on because there's so much information to cover. But this is what applies to everybody. So moisture, hydration, sectioning, using a good brush. I don't recommend a wide tooth comb. That doesn't give you enough tension to give you the most bouncy curl. But the main difference between air drying and diffusing would be air drying, you're going to get a looser result. It's going to be a little bit flatter. Diffusing, you're going to get the most curl, the most definition, the most volume, because you're literally defying gravity. You're taking the hair against its natural fall, and you're giving an extra lift. So depending on the day how you want to look, you decide air dry or diffuse. Also, day one of product applying, day one, your wash day, is the most important day that sets you up for success for the week. So ideally, a curly girl should be able to wear their hair for up to 3 days, even 4, even 5, if you can push it that far. So I usually go 6 days without washing. You shouldn't wash curly hair too much. I think no less than once a week. You have to wash your hair once a week. In
general, I think speaking, we don't want clients to be washing the hair daily. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
I will say the clients in general, what is your recommendation? I will say 2 times a week.
Yeah, two to 3. If you're more active than 3, it's understandable. I have really active clients. So the least 1 and then the max 3. You don't want to be washing more than 3.
Yeah.
It just keeps your natural hair flowy. Oils. It keeps it, the natural hair oils are there, all of that. And then your color stays in longer. So people forget the color. You don't want to be washing your hair and getting that color out faster.
About 90% of women out there have colored hair.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we're as aware of what the maintenance is about washing the hair.
Exactly. So we covered the styling, and then so a lot of my clients ask me, what about refreshing? So day 1, you're styled. What do you do for the next few days?
What about refreshing? I don't know. I don't know what about refreshing on myself. So please help me.
Yeah, of course. It helps everybody. Okay. So for sure, a silk pillowcase is most needed.
Does it really help?
It does. Okay. That's what I recommend the most. I don't tolerate a bonnet. I end up finding it in the middle of the night on the floor because I take it off in my sleep and I don't realize I don't tolerate stuff on my head. If you can tolerate a bonnet, go ahead and use it. Silk satin bonnet is perfect if you can tolerate it. I just opt for the pillowcase because I don't like stuff on my head. My scalp is more sensitive, so even having a ponytail, my scalp gets painful. So having something on my head, I don't like it. So pillowcase. And then from there, you sleep with that. And then the next day, let's say you do wake up with a little bit of frizz or a little bit of, wonky curls. You would take a little bit of water on that section, and you can take either the cream or the gel, and you just re-scrunch it and let it air dry, and it'll be good as new. That's what a refresh.
Nice. That's easy.
I don't recommend you can use it if you like it. There are refresher sprays. But if you're just adding a little bit of what you already used, just do that. Like one of these guys. There's no need to add a different product, a different like something else, because you don't know how it may react with these products.
Weigh it down.
Or weigh it down,
With my
exactly.
curls, when I use the spray refresher, I feel like it just weights them down
It
instead
does.
of like bringing them alive. And
Yeah.
typically and you're right, typically when I go back into the product that I use and I just like wet it and refresh it, it bounces back.
Yeah. The
right.
water is everything. Water is like
moisture.
What, yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, big thing, when you're styling, your hair needs to be wet. It cannot be dry.
Okay.
Curly hair can only be manipulated on wet hair. Yeah. And I think that covers the majority of everything.
Of it. I mean, obviously, guys, if you have more questions and if you want us to have a consultation with either one of us, we'll actually link our information, the salon name. As mentioned before, we are located in Bonita Road, which is very local. We're in the middle of everything. The freeway is right there. I
love our location.
It's beautiful, beautiful. And then our salon is beautiful. It's big. You don't have like, it's not, when it gets too crowded and it's so small that you feel like, what is it, suffocated? No, our salon is big, it's beautiful, it's spacious, it's light. So we invite you to come in if you want to get a consultation. Obviously, this is just basic about what we do in our mastery in our areas. We understand hair type in many other different ways, but if you want to get a personal consultation that's going to be made just for you, and that's going to help you understand yourself, how your hair works, or in this case curly or extensions might work in another level. Right here we're just giving you basis, obviously, about what you can do, what it can work back at home, the products that we recommend, the products that we don't recommend, or anything that goes along with that. But this is pretty much what we wanted to speak.
Like a baseline. We covered all grounds. This is actually a perfect lead-in to go into answering some of the questions. I mean, some of the comments that we got on our previous video.
Thank you for commenting. We really appreciate each one of you. And we did got some interaction, which is so fun.
Yes.
And we took obviously time for us to see the products that you guys mentioned, and we're gonna go over it.
Let's pull up the comments so we can shout out like, the people that commented.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and check some of the comments that you guys left. On the previous episode, we asked, go ahead and drop your shampoo and conditioner or some of the products that you're currently using, and then we'd come back and talk about it today. So we're just gonna kind of give you some feedback or some recommendations or even some swap outs for some of the items. So let's go ahead and start with our comments.
This is what I'm getting.
Okay, so let's see comments.
There we go.
So we had Natalie said that she uses Dr. Groot's hair thickening shampoo, thickening conditioner, and their Miracle in Shower treatment. And she would like recommendations on a blow dry product.
Okay, so what we find about Dr. Groot's is that it's an excellent line.
Yes, we did research.
Yes, it's an excellent line. It's for hair growth. It has Korean hair care, biotin, rosemary oil. It helps you with volume, and it hydrates the hair. Obviously, this is for anything that has to do with thickening the hair.
Yeah.
With the ingredient list that it's listed right here, it's gonna help you with the scalp hair of it. And it's very, what is it? They're very natural ingredients. So we said yes to that. That's a great option for you to continue to use. Obviously, products are gonna come and go, different names, brands. What you want to see is that it's actually delivering what is promising. So
yes,
for you, as what was her name again? Natalie, for you as one of our audience, will say, let us know if it's really working. If not, I can give you a recommendation of a line that really works. It's also ingredient clean, but it really delivers those aspects of her thickening, hair grow, and scalp care. So let us know.
Yeah, and then she wanted a recommendation on a product for blow dry, which
blow dry.
I like this one. This is the Kenra Platinum Blow Dry Spray. I love this one because you can see the shine, and it just is. It can get heavy if you spray a lot. Obviously, you're not supposed to spray so much, but it cuts your blow dry time in half, which is what I absolutely love. So I really like this one.
What is it?
Kenra blow dry spray.
Blow dry spray.
Yeah, that's the one that.
And it also has a thermal protectant. So
yeah, thermal protectant. Cool. And then I think you mentioned the Hot Off the Press by Paul Mitchell.
Yeah, I think we had a question about the term, like a heat protector, and that's a must have. There's many things that are a must have when it comes to product, but that's a must, one of them. The Hot Off the Press from Paul Mitchell line is really, really good. Once you use it, as soon as I spray that, I can see how it's delivering the coating into the hair, the protected coating, which is really amazing. Because a lot of the times we get products that we use or we experience in the salon, and you just spray them, but you don't see that it's actually doing the chemistry on it. I feel with Hot Off the Press, I really, really trust that product because as soon as you spray that to the hair, you can see the coating, which is really amazing how it seals. To me, that's a wow. That's what I want to see in all the products that I use. And we had just mentioned there's many lines and products coming, but I want to see the chemistry. I want to see it. If I can see it as soon as I take it off the bottle, that's amazing, and that's what Hot Off the Press is gonna deliver to you guys.
I like that one too.
Heat protector. Yeah. So that's our to go for heat protector, Hot Off the Press from Paul Mitchell. And then we had another comment from Vero, I believe. She asked about Garnier Fructis. How do we feel? She's using that as shampoo and conditioner. And she said that she's a curly girly. Any recommendations, curly specialist?
So I personally do not agree with that brand. Okay. I can recommend a different brand, and I'll get to that in a second. But for that specifically, I don't recommend it because it has sodium lauryl sulfates, benzoyl alcohol, and then it has parabens, and it has polyethylene glycol. So those are like one of the worst ingredients. No. Yeah, you don't want to put that in your hair. So those ones are like harsher chemicals. They dry the hair out, and they leave buildup, most importantly. And for curly hair, you don't want buildup. That weighs your curls down. So maybe you can swap it out with, I love the Matrix line, A Curl Can Dream. That one's really great. I love that one. All of their products are lighter weight. They have some heavier products, but with lightweight products, you can build them up. So if you feel like you need more of it, just add more, which is what I like. So I recommend the Matrix A Curl Can Dream. Their entire line. It has manuka honey, which I love. It smells delicious. And
it leaves the hair very moist.
It does. It's soft,
shiny.
Yes. I recommend that brand. And then I think
we're gonna go back to Natalie as we finish because we picked the product of the day that's gonna help you with your second question or whatever is that you're needing help with. I believe the freeze. So we'll go back to you, Natalie. And we had another one which I can't. You help me out. Find the. I believe Mamas. What was the name of the product?
Which one?
There was another.
Oh, yes. It was on our Instagram comments.
Okay. I'm sorry. We're going to look it up.
Right here. So it was the Monday
product.
Monday brand.
So actually the Monday brand, I was amazed as I look at it because then again, it goes down to, is it delivering what it's saying, what it's doing? But what I look into it is that the ingredient list was amazing.
It was.
I actually learned that it has rice keratin, right?
Rice protein.
Rice protein, which it's supposed to.
It helps with hair growth and it helps with moisture. Rice is one of the best things. I know that in certain parts of the world they use rice water.
Yeah, and rice water will also help you with skin as well, clear out the skins, any marks. So I was actually surprised with the Monday line. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it and try it myself, and we'll let you know and let us know how it's that going. But that one looks like a pretty high quality, great list of ingredients. So Monday for Jenny, that's the answer for you. That was one of our response from our Instagram. And go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Sky. If you're already subscribing, hopefully you're subscribing. Also, go ahead and take time. If you do have EG, it's our name, the Hairapy sessions with Erika and Yvonne.
Someone dropped a comment on Pureology. They use the Pureology. All of their stuff is great.
That's high quality brand.
Yeah, definite yes.
Pureology, you can even find it in our salon as well. You can go into their website. Something about products though that I want to mention right now. It wasn't meant to be added in this episode, but as we go, we flow. And I feel that this is very important to mention to our audience, future audience, or in general. There is counterfeited products.
Oh yeah.
There is a lot of that. So sometimes we go to stores that you see that you find this different branded name products, but what you get inside those bottles, they're wrapped up with those labels, but they're not the actual products.
Which happens on Amazon. You got to be careful with Amazon.
That's where I was going to go. You always go to a professional salon, which we get them from the provider or to their website. I will even not encourage people to continue to buy from Amazon. We don't know where is the source coming from. We don't know if it's counterfeited or not. This is unfortunately they have this black market, and it's happening in so many other areas. But I like to make our audience aware of that. As if you're gonna spend money, I know we're all trying to save. Times it's a little bit expensive out there, but stay committed to obtaining the products from the source. So that will be into their websites, coming into a professional salon, and just making sure that what you're buying it's the real product. So yeah. Any other questions, you guys? Let us know. Like I said, we're here to help you. And we touched bases today about her expertise, curly hair, and she has beautiful curly, and she's not even wearing them properly today, but you will see
right now.
You will see as we go. And we are shooting this videos and episodes on the day that we rest, which is today, Monday.
Yes.
And so we're a little more laid back, but you will see as we go, her style, her curly, it's just beautiful. Then, like I said, if you have any questions in her expertise, which is curly hair, go ahead and pop up those questions. If you have any more questions in areas that I didn't dig on, you can go ahead and ask me about her extensions. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're excited to be here. We're excited to be back. We're gonna come up with our next topics. If you guys wanna just throw in any we will want you to talk about this, we can go ahead and do that. But yeah, we will see you.
Drop some episode recommendations in the comments. And with that, we will talk about our product of the day.
Yes. Okay.
Yay,
so
drum roll. Yay.
Go, Erika, go.
Dun, 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 dun. This is actually Yvonne's one of her top products. I recently tried it and I loved it. She'll explain it to you guys.
Actually, our salon top product. The clients will leave. We will put it in our clients, and the clients will immediately ask, "Well, what's that?" This is how good this product is. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. When you catch a good product to you, it has to be right away. It has to be as soon as you experience that in your hair that you're like, "Whoa, what was that? What's that smell? What's that in my hair?" Like, I noticed that right away. So this product will deliver that. This is Moody, and it's Rev 320. I believe the brand is 320 Pure by Camila Mejia. But it's a professional salon quality product. It's a primer. So I always recommend that whenever you wash the hair and you're about to style the hair, that not only the aftercare, but the primer on the hair is everything. This is an anti-freeze. So for the audience, for those clients that ask about anti-freeze, this is going to help you with the anti-freeze. A lot of the primers, though, will have a heat protector already. This one doesn't, but this one has argan oil, which is great to moisture the hair. It has vitamin A and E, omega 3 and 6, and amalaki extract, which is another oil for the hair. It's amazing. It's color care. It's pH balance. No animal testing. We do want to stay away from that because we obviously care so much for animals that are alive as we are. And I know that I care for that. I'm sure
yeah,
you
of
do as
course
well,
I
right?
do.
We haven't touched this topic yet, but I mean, as we go, we speak. It's amazing. It's alcohol free, paraben free, rich in keratin. So this is gonna deliver
This is a very clean product.
yes, amazing experience as you prep the hair for whatever style you want to do. And it's going to take care of that antifreeze right away. If the freeze continues to show up and you have that kind of kinky and roll freeze, then go ahead and drop a comment, and then we can talk about another product or another service that is going to help you tame that down completely. But as the product of the day, this will be our choice as a primer, and it's 320 pure, and this is called Smoothie Primer.
Yes, it's great. Please
Great.
try it.
Amazing.
I really, really did like it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I noticed, which is not a
Mm-hmm.
bad thing, it's just so that the clients know how much to use.
Oh, the quality, the quantity.
The quantity. It can get heavy if you put too much.
Mm-hmm.
So little goes a
True.
long way with this. If you have really light, if you have really fine hair, a little bit, obviously the coarser, the more you apply.
Mm-hmm.
So this in moderation, but it's great. I really like it.
100%, that's true. Go in moderation. So start by little, feel it. If you feel like it's still absorbing, you're gonna feel it with your own hair. It's like as you experience it, then go ahead and add a little bit more. But overall, it's gonna once you blow dry it, you're gonna feel it. As soon as you apply it, you're gonna feel it. But once you start treating, like styling the hair, this will deliver very nicely.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's a go.
Yay, that concludes our
Thank you,
episode
God.
2. Thank you so much.
Sessions.
Yeah.
The Hairapy sessions with
Erika and
Iwan.
yay. See you on the next episode.
See you. Thank you.